Hi, this is Jim Ave, the professor for Kinesiology 771, Research Methods in Kinesiology. I want to welcome you to class. I'm going to provide an overview of the course. As you can see on the screen, you can see the syllabus. I would suggest that you have the syllabus in front of you so you can see it as I go through it. As I do with most of my classes, I have a Bible verse, and this verse is actually the verse of the year for Fresno Pacific. It's from Romans chapter 15, verse 13, and I'm using the English Standard Version, and a verse written by the Apostle Paul to the Roman church. It says, "May the God of hope fill you with all joy and peace in believing, so that by the power of the Holy Spirit you may abound in hope." There's just a lot of hope and joy stated in this verse, and I hope that you can hold on to that verse and the promises in that verse. If you are a follower of Jesus Christ, that's who it's written to and who it's written for. All right, let's move on in our course. You can see in our the top part there below the verse, I have my office hours, and during the fall semester I'll be on campus Tuesday and Thursday, usually 9 a.m. to 11 a.m. and then in the afternoons from 1 to 4 p.m. Sometimes I have meetings on Tuesday afternoons, so I may not be there. Usually our meetings run from 12:40 to 2 o'clock on Tuesdays. But you also can contact me Monday, Wednesday, and Fridays. I work from home on those days. You can feel free to call me, send me an email, Skype me, any of those type of things. If you want to get in hold of me, I'm here to help you. I do know this is a difficult course, and I do want to help you in any way I can. So feel free to call me, email me, whatever way will help you learn the material. Obviously, we are in the fall semester. This course is 8 weeks in length. We start on October 22nd and will end on Friday, December 14th. That will be our Christmas break after that. And then you'll come back in January, at the beginning of January, to start the spring semester. But this course ends again December 14th on a Friday. And we start, and obviously you're started class already, so I'm not going to go through everything in our syllabus. You can read the course description. Basically, what I'm going to teach you about is all the different ways that we do research in the kinesiology, human performance area, whatever way you want to call it. So we're going to learn about that. I've included the Masters of Arts in Kinesiology mission statement. I'll go ahead and read that to you so you know what we're about. The Masters of Arts in Kinesiology mission is to prepare professionals, which are you, to become exemplary and scholarly practitioners in kinesiology by providing opportunities for academic, social, spiritual, professional, and personal development. And then we have our student learning outcomes, our program student learning outcomes, what we're targeting you to know by or do or achieve by the time you complete this master's program. Hopefully you have reflected on this somewhere in the graduate program, or you will reflect on this. Hopefully you can understand what these mean. I'm not going to read them to you. You can read those on your own. And then here's our student learning outcomes for this particular class, what you should be able to do by the time you complete this class. And so the assignments and all the different things that I'm doing in this class are designed to achieve the student learning outcomes and the program student learning outcomes, as you know, as physical education teachers. All right, so our schedule. So this week, the first week of class, what we're going to cover is what I'm doing right now, an introduction to the class. I have another announcement that talks about the main assignment in this class, the research paper assignment. So you'll listen to that or watch that. And then the other things that we'll cover in this class is the research process and literature review process. while I'm talking about the class schedule and some of the topics we're going to cover, I'm going to go over to the Moodle class. And just, again, I've darkened out my contact information. Obviously, when you go to the class, you can see that. I just don't want people all over the world to have all this information. But you'll see that in the class site that I talk about podcast and those type of things. And the reason why I'm providing you this information here in this announcement is you're going to have quite a bit of lectures. You'll see that here I have different lectures, and I have the PowerPoint slides. So what I'm requiring you to do is listen to the lectures, and then you'll actually subscribe to the podcast in iTunes. And at this time, I don't have that URL address, but I'll have that up there by the time the class starts. And then if you don't know how to actually subscribe to a podcast in iTunes, I've made a video in a Moodle training course for you to go there and watch how to do that. And then the podcast will go to your iTunes account, and then you can listen to the podcast at your leisure. You don't have to log into Moodle to do that. The files are pretty big, that's why I don't have them inside the Moodle training or the Moodle class themselves. You can watch them there in Moodle if you click on the link. You can watch them, but just like if we were in a face-to-face class, this is the lecture portion of the course. This class is new material for most students, and so that's why I do more lectures in this class than any other class. And so while you are listening to the lectures, I expect you to take notes. That's why I provide you the PowerPoint slides. I also expect you to read the textbook chapters and be active listeners during the lectures. Then the assignments that I have for the course are usually linked to the podcast lectures. So let me go back to the schedule. So you'll see that we have a learning activity. Well, let me go to the different course assignments. So you have these learning activities, not every single week, but several of them during the week. You'll have different assignments. And what the assignments are designed to do is help you with the signature assignment for the class, which again, I'll have a separate presentation about that. And that signature assignment is a research paper. So you have the lectures. We don't have a lot of forum discussions in this class. We have more assignment. In the first week, you'll have a couple forum discussions. Then after that, most of the assignments are turned in the assignment link to me, and I'll give you feedback on those assignments and help you grow and learn the material. Hopefully by now you've got your textbook. The textbook that's required is by Thomas, Nelson, and Silverman. It's Research Methods in Physical Activity, the 6th edition. If you had the 5th edition, you can still use that. It's still fine to use. That's by Human Kinetics. And you should already have the APA, or American Psychological Association, Concise Rules of APA Style, the 6th edition. You need to have the 6th edition, not the 5th edition of APA. And I will use this supplementary resource by Cresswell. It's another research methods textbook that I use. You don't have to buy that. It's just something that I use in some of the podcasts, so you know, you'll hear me talk about it. Started talking about your assignments for this class. We do have 2 tests in this class. There's a midterm, which will cover the material. Let me go scroll up to the schedule. So the midterm is in week 4. So we'll cover the materials from chapter 1 through 5, actually 1 through 11. Then chapters 15 and 16 will be on the midterm. And then there's a final exam at the end of the test, end of the class. It's not a cumulative final exam. It will just cover material from the midterm. So it will be chapters 18, 19, 17, 13, yada, yada, yada. So how the exams are set up, there's 2 parts to each exam. You'll have one part that is hosted in Moodle. It's a multiple choice exam. You have 2 hours to complete the exam in Moodle. The exam closes at 11:55 p.m. on Sunday of the week. So you have to make sure you start in enough time that you can complete it before it shuts down on that Sunday. So you have access to all your resources, your textbook, the PowerPoints, all that stuff. I should tell you that the midterm exam is primarily on the textbook material more than it is on a lecture. There's some slight differences between the two, because when I do lecture, I do cover the material from the textbook, but it's not always word for word from the textbook. So the midterm exam in Moodle is primarily from the textbook. So again, it's open book. You got 2 hours, take your time, and do well on that. Now the second part is a take-home exam. It's similar to the learning activities that we're doing in class during those periods. So you'll have, again, it's take home. You have all week to do it, and it's due Sunday at midnight, and similar both for the midterm and a final are the same way. The other activities in class, and the main one is going to be this research paper, all these different things. That's your signature assignment. That's the key assignment. It's worth quite a bit of points. As you can see, again, I'm going to cover this later so I'm not going to spend too much more time. So it is the main assignment. And I've talked about the learning activities. These learning activities are designed just to help you learn the material. And it's geared towards helping you with the research paper. So I'm going to skip through the research paper because we're going to talk about that later in the threaded discussion. Submission for assignments. I believe everybody in this class has had me as a professor before, so you know that in assignments that you turn into the assignment link, you should have a title page, include your name, my name, the course name or number and name, the date, title, and the title for the assignment. Remember, always follow APA for section formatting and in-text and in-text citation, reference page citations. If you don't remember how to do APA, you got to refresh yourself. You're required to remember APA and follow APA. Late submissions will result in a 25-point grade or 25% grade reduction. So make sure that you turn things in time. Now, we're all adults here. If something happens in your life, like not too long ago, a student, his wife was having a baby, and that week was just kind of crazy for him. And I told him, okay, that's fine. Just let me know what's going on. And if you got to turn in stuff late, I'm not going to reduce your grade because of that, because you told me about it. The student didn't wait till the last minute to tell me. He kept me informed, and he told me on Monday that I may be having my baby this Friday or this week or whatever. I says, yeah, I'm willing to work with you. Just let me know what's going on. That's all I ask. Just keep me informed. Now, if it's a habitual thing, that's a different thing. But just let me know if something happens. Life happens. I understand that. So you've probably seen this rubric before. Really, the critical thing here is the C. Really work hard in this course. I haven't said it yet, I don't think. This class is the most challenging course in this program. And the reason why it's so difficult is because it's like learning a brand new language. And you are going to learn some new terms and languages and how to say it. And so that's what makes this class so difficult. It's you've never taken a class like this probably in your undergraduate program. So that's what makes this class so challenging, is that you're learning something brand new. And that's why I lecture more in this class than in some of my other courses. So you have to stay on top of this. Again, if you need help, I'm here to help. All this stuff here is here because our accreditation people require this, so feel free to look at that if you wish. Now, you've seen this in syllabus before. Key thing is we're in an 8-week course, so you're going to be spending anywhere from 10 to 12, 20 hours per week on this 3-unit course. It just depends how fast you read. Here I have the listening to podcast up here. It's about 20 hours of listening to the different lectures. I do have a lot of lectures in this course. So then you're having your written assignment. Where you're going to spend most of your time on this class is this research paper assignment. You have to start working on this starting in week 1 and continue working on that through the whole course, because it does take a lot of time. It's the big assignment in the course. So you should be spending anywhere from 10 to 20 hours in this class to be successful. If you're spending less time in this class than that, you're not going to do very well in this course. I do expect you to check your Fresno Pacific University email on a daily basis. If you have not forwarded that FPU email, or you don't check that, but you should be checking that, I suggest that you forward that email to an email that you actually check. There is a video in the Moodle training course how to forward your email to another email account. I also expect you to check the Moodle Class site at least every other day, because I do place course announcements in there. When I do make course announcements, I do have them emailed to your FPU email account. So that's 2 ways I have you make sure that you're reading the course announcements, because that's how I do provide a lot of feedback to students, is in those course announcements. And I do expect you to read and follow all the assignment directions. I have tried to provide detailed explanations, but sometimes things aren't clear. If you're not sure what to do, make sure that you post your questions in the old Q&A forum. That's where I would like you to post those questions, because more than likely, if you have the question, other students have the exact same questions as you do. So I try to answer those questions fairly quickly. Now, on weekends, I can't guarantee that I will answer those questions as quickly, so be a little bit proactive to answer or ask your questions. Saturday and Sunday, again, I may not check Moodle, and Sunday mornings or Sunday afternoons before or after church, I'll open up the week before, and then I'll look at the Q&A forum. But if you have questions about the class there, you can send me an email, but I'd rather answer your questions about assignments directly in the forum, Q&A forum. But if you just can't, the question is like, I don't know how to say it in writing, feel free to give me a call, and I'm here to help you. Let's see, anything else here? All this other stuff you can read on your own. I just want to end this presentation with reminding you to be diligent in this course. Don't want to scare you about this class, but it is a bit of a challenge, this course. Take your time, read the material, listen to the lectures. I also suggest that maybe you should get together with some other students in this class. Post the thing in the Q&A forum. Say, hey, anybody else here want to form a study group for this class? You can Skype each other. You can work with one another. I don't have a problem with the students working with one another on the learning activities, or even with a research paper assignment. Now, you have to do your own research paper assignment. You have to do your own learning activity. But if you want to work together to help one another, I'm totally okay with that. I think that's great. I think that would be a great way for each student to help one another, to just learn from one another in this course. Because this, again, it's just a different class than any other class in this program. And I'll read this verse again because I really do like it. It says, "May the God of hope fill you with all joy and peace in believing, so that by the power of the Holy Spirit you may abound in hope."